Hello everybody, it's Peter the Rock. I'm at the Harville Road, which goes through the HS2 site, and the main object of my attention in front of me here is the red/orange launching girder, which I've been calling Dominique for over a year because that's the name stuck on it. Now, it has become a bit of a friend. I've done over 100 videos now, HS2 works, and if you look at the early ones, you'll realise that I was very ignorant about what was going on. But luckily now, I'm still fairly ignorant, but I do know a few facts. It's 700 tons in weight. That crane dismantling it is a 160-ton crane. I'm not sure if that's the weight of the crane or the weight of the things it can lift, but the girder itself has to be dismantled and is presumably being taken apart bit by bit, because they've allowed in the project plan, they've allowed 39 days to dismantle that crane. 39 days! That's a phenomenal amount. Dominique came here originally from Hong Kong, presumably in shipping containers like the ones you can see, little blue and sort of yellow ones in the foreground there, from Hong Kong, presumably 2 or 3 years ago when it started work spanning this valley, the Colne Valley, and it's going to be put back in containers ready for this next job, which apparently is in France, La Belle France, which of course has been in the news quite a lot because of the Olympics. So it's all happening in France, folks. Well, it will be when that when that girder is packed up and taken to France. I imagine it would go through customs, and the customs might say, "Have you got anything to declare?" And they'll say, "Yes." We have a launching girder in the shipping containers. Now, this is a very bad impression of an Englishman trying to speak French. Of course, I am a fluent French speaker, but I don't want to hurt your any Frenchman's feelings by breaking into the French langue, or la langue française, comme nous dit-on. So here we are. It's going to be it's being held up rather like a car that's lost its wheels. It's got concrete blocks underneath it all the way along, and it's being dismantled not just 9 to 5 on a Monday to Friday, but apparently 24/7, which is why I came here, because I was expecting a bit of dismantling to be going on 24/7. Apparently they do quite a lot of work at night, which doesn't disturb people as much. I think they're very, very sensitive about being nice to the local population. Not that there is any local population around here. I think only one house was demolished in the whole of the creation of this viaduct. One house in a 2.1 mile viaduct. So that shows you that this is a fairly remote area. Now this crane ahead of me here, just as a bit of distraction, is right by the entrance to the Copthall Tunnel, and you can see that it kind of looks like a tunnel. Interestingly, I only found this out recently, this is a cut and cover. Now, the very first tube line, I think, was the Metropolitan line, or became called the Metropolitan line, which is also a cut and cover. It's not very deep. You dig a sort of trench, put the railway in, cover it up, as the name suggests. So the hill on top of it is the cover. I think I might try and cross the road and have a look, see what I can see of this tunnel Let's do that. Risking life and limb. There goes the cranes moving. Everything that moves chugs. When you hear something chugging, you think, oh, that must be a crane or a dumper truck or something like that. And it turns out to be not what you'd expect usually, in my experience. So here we are. You can't see the pit down below. Quite excitingly, if you look at the plans and look at the site from above, there are a couple of people 2 or 3 people at least, who send drones up now and then, but they don't comment on the drone footage. But if you look at a drone footage of this area, you'll see that the trackway of HS2 is still curving, and it starts off, as you saw over there, starts off to my right and bends round towards straightens up towards where Dominique is, comes underneath the Harville Road and carries on turning, this time to the left. So it's a pretty interesting tunnel to have a bend in it right from kickoff. Well, I think so anyway. I imagine it's far easier to make a tunnel that's straight. As I said in the previous video, the Metropolitan line was the first cut and cover railway tunnel in London, and I'm always learning things about these sort of things. There was a programme recently about this new Oxford-Cambridge line, which is an old abandoned railway they're trying to resurrect and connect up the two universities. Hello! And everyone's very friendly here. Apparently, once upon a time, there goes a U9 bus, cup runneth over. The line between Oxford and Cambridge, which goes through Bletchley, sort of obviously intersects with lines going north, and also once upon a time the Metropolitan line did actually intersect it. So it went out a long way out of London, a very long way, and I think some freight used to use that, but not anymore. So there are the guys there in the orange jackets, suits. This is a better view of Dominique from here. I mean, the major efforts now are landscaping, which means earth moving. It's not the sort of thing you do in your back garden. If you want your back garden to be more hilly or flatter, you wouldn't use a machine as big as this one. Well, you might do if you've got a big enough garden. There's no law against it. Right, I'm going to cross the road again, and this is a much better view, viewers. And here it is in all its glory. Dominique, legless, nearing the end of its time. It's about halfway through its. I'm not going to say demolition. Dismantlement would be a more accurate word. But there doesn't seem to be anything happening today, unfortunately, which is rather good, because it'll be sad to see the old boy taken to bits and put away, ready for its next assignment. There could be even a group of people who like Dominique so much they arrange trips to France to see its next job. I just don't know. Down there are a lot of orange-suited people watching a digger, and some of them are wearing white hats. I think the ones in white hats are quite important. The ones in black hats are foremen, and the ones with no hats at all are the ordinary workers. Well, if I don't know something, I'll make it up and try to explain. But I did hear this from some HS2 workers at the topping out day drink after the topping out. So there we are. Not much more to say. A nice good view of Dominique resting on its bricks. Well, not bricks exactly, bits of concrete, ready to be a bit more dismantled. They started the dismantling, I think, on the sort of mid-September, mid to late September, but they've only succeeded in taking one of the gantry cranes off, as far as I can see. But that would have weighed getting on for 160 tons, I should think. So they are working 24/7. They're working on the hill, or the hillock over there, applying the final touches. So we'll have a hill to be proud of. Ultimately, I don't know if that hill will be open to the public. Might be. You'll be able to wander up to the top of the hill and watch the HS2 train shoot through the valley at a great speed. Thanks a lot for watching. It's Peter the Rock. It's Sunday. Cheers.